In Japanese folklore, an Oni is a type of demonic creature often of giant size, great strength, and fearful appearance that is typically cruel and malicious. They are generally considered to be of foreign origin, perhaps introduced into Japan from China along with Buddhism. The Oni have been depicted in various ways in Japanese legend and art, sometimes also as women. They are characteristically thought of as red or blue-grey in color, with horns, 3 toes, 3 fingers, and on occasion 3 eyes. Let's take a closer look. Oni are one of the greatest icons of Japanese folklore. They are large and scary, standing taller than the tallest man, and sometimes taller than trees. They come in many varieties, but are most commonly depicted with red or blue skin, wild hair, 2 or more horns, and fang-like tusks. Other variations exist in different colors and with different number of horns, eyes, or fingers and toes. They wear loincloths made of pelts of great beasts, often tigers. All Oni possess extreme strength and constitution, and many of them are accomplished sorcerers. They are ferocious demons, bringers of disaster, spreader of disease, and punishers of the damned in hell, and typically reside in hell, remote mountains, caves, islands, and abandoned fortresses. Oni are born when truly wicked humans die and end up in one of the many Buddhist hells. Transformed into Oni, they become ogreish and brutal servants of the great Lord Enma, the ruler of hell. Wielding great iron clubs, they crush and destroy humans solely for enjoyment. An Oni's job is to mete out horrible punishment such as peeling off skins, crushing bones, and rendering other torments too horrible to describe. All these tortures are for wicked sinners, but only for those not quite wicked enough to be reborn as Oni themselves. Hell is full of Oni. They make up the armies of the great generals of the underworld. Occasionally, when a human is so utterly wicked that his soul is beyond any redemption, he transforms into an Oni while still alive. He then remains on earth to terrorize the living. These transformed Oni are the ones most legends tell about, and the ones who pose the most danger to humankind. Originally, all spirits, ghosts, and monsters were known as Oni. The root of their name is a word meaning hidden or concealed, and it was written with the Chinese character for ghost. In the old days of Japan, before the spirits were well catalogued, Oni could refer to almost any supernatural creature: ghosts, obscure gods, large or scary yokai spirits, even particularly vicious and brutal humans. As the centuries shaped Japanese thought, the definitions we know for the various kinds of monsters gradually came into being, such as female demons, who are not called Oni, but are known as Kijo. Kijo resemble human women in most ways, although they are hideously ugly. Some have red or yellow eyes, blue skin, sharp horns, long claws, or other supernatural features. They usually dress in rags and wear their hair long and unkempt. They also live like savages far from civilization. Specifically, Kijo refers first and foremost to women who have been transformed from humans into horrible monsters, either out of intense jealousy, wicked crimes, or a terrible grudge that twists the soul into pure hatred. These transformed women retreat from common society into more secluded places, where they continue to perpetrate their wicked deeds. They can be found living in remote mountain caves, abandoned houses, or along mountain roads, where they receive a steady supply of victims. Kijo are stronger than most humans, though their strength pales in comparison to Oni. These demonesses excel in magic and accumulate powerful spells over their long lives. Kijo are capable of bestowing hexes and curses, brewing potions and poisons, and weaving complex illusions. A few Kijo dedicate themselves to personal vengeance or some political goal, but most just keep to themselves and go unnoticed by humankind for centuries. Kijo is a broad term that in its most general sense encompasses any female demon, just as the term Oni can technically refer to any male demon. The name Kijo is formed simply by combining the two kanji for Oni and women. Though their name might suggest that Kijo are the female counterparts of the male Oni, there is nothing to support this. Tales show Oni working either as tormentors of the damned or as menaces to human society in the living world, But Kijo do not seem to have any connection to hell or the afterlife. They work alone and have their own motives. Kijo and Oni are also not commonly seen together. It is therefore likely that Kijo are entirely separate creatures from Oni, other than the fact that both are born from corrupted human souls. Some famous Kijo are Yumotsu Shikomi, literally meaning the ugly woman of the underworld, who was sent by the dead Izanami to pursue her husband for shaming her by breaking his promise not to see her in a decayed form in the underworld. Next is Uji no Hashihime, meaning the maiden of the bridge of Uji, who spends lonely nights waiting for her lover to visit, and later becomes a fierce Oni fueled by jealousy. And then we have Yamauba, a monstrous crone with cannibalistic tendencies, who would typically attack travelers and merchants who often walk along mountain paths. However, in one tale, two sisters out gathering fruit met a Yamauba, who gave treasure to the kind older sister, who was tormented by her stepmother, and gave misfortune to the ill-mannered younger sister. Returning to male Oni, one type is known as the Ushi Oni, a terror from western Japan that lives near water. The name literally means ox demon, and refers to the number of different monsters with bovine traits. Most Ushi Oni resemble an ox from the head up and a demonic horror below. Many variations are known to exist. The body of an ox with a head like an Oni's, the head of an ox on the body of a spider or a cat's, or even an ox's head on the body of a kimono-clad human. Despite their unique and varying morphology, all Ushi Oni share a number of characteristics pointing to a common origin. They are exceedingly cruel and savage. They breathe toxic poison and eat humans. Some Ushi Oni are lurkers, attacking people who draw too close to their lairs. Others are hunters, roaming the coast seeking prey. The cruelest Ushi Oni ravage the same towns over and over, inflicting terrible curses or bringing diseases. Although a few roam the mountains of the island of Shikoku, most Ushi Oni live along the rocky coasts and beaches of western Japan. Ushi Oni frequently work together in cooperation with other yokai spirits. The spider-like version from the coasts of the islands of northern Kyushu and western Honshu frequently partner with Nure Onna and Iso Onna. These siren-like yokai use their charms to lure unsuspecting men towards the water's edge. When they approach, the Ushi Oni pounces and bites the victims to death. The meal is then shared between the yokai. The most famous Oni, though, is probably Shuten Doji. In this myth, Shuten Doji and his gang of Oni thugs are responsible for many women from a countryside village going missing. A group of warriors decide to go and save the women, and, with the help of a magical poison, are able to assault the Oni band during a bout of heavy drinking. They cut off the drunken Shuten Doji's head, but even though it is detached from the body, the head tries to bite the lead warrior, who keeps it away by putting on 2 other helmets. The demon is then defeated, and the warriors take the body back to the village to show everyone that they killed it. Because the head belonged to an Oni and was unholy, it was buried outside of the city limits, at a mountain pass called Oinosaka. An interesting take on Oni is the Oni no Kanebutsu, or Oni no Nenbutsu, one of the themes of Otsue, a popular genre of painting from Otsu. It depicts an Oni wearing monk's clothing and performing winter training. Kanebutsu is a part of Buddhist religious training, which involves getting up before dawn on winter mornings and patrolling the streets loudly reciting prayers. Oftentimes devotees bang a gong while repeating the name of Buddha and visit houses to collect alms. The Oni is depicted wearing monk's robes and looks ready to perform winter training. He carries a gong, a wooden mallet, and a donation registry. The only thing he is missing is a clean soul. It is said that an Oni's residence is the human heart. Their horns are the manifestation of the 3 poisons of Buddhism, which are the root of all evil: delusion, attachment, and hatred. The more we express our ego, use things for our benefit, see things through our own eyes, and act in our own self-interest, the more our horns grow. The Oni in monk's garb is similar in meaning to wolves in sheep clothing, and the painting is a satire of monks and priests who dress and act pious, but who actually behave in a manner more fitting of an Oni than a Buddha. This kind of comical depiction of religious hypocrisy is a theme frequently found in yokai art. There is also a further hidden message in the Oni no Kanebutsu. One of the Oni's horns is broken. In other words, this Oni may be trying to break out of its self-delusion. The broken horn shows that it has succeeded to some degree, serving as a role model and a reminder for viewers to do the same. So on one level, the image is a caricature of religious hypocrisy, but on another level, it can be seen as a reminder of the path to salvation. Thanks for watching, peoples. If you enjoyed, please help me by sharing the video and subscribing to the channel. Till next time, bye bye.